Bills Mafia. Are you ready? From North Carolina to Buffalo, the Mafia is united. This is your home for the passion, the power, and the pride of the Buffalo Bills. Welcome to Bills Mafia Carolina Takeover. Let's go, Bills.
Welcome back to week number 4 is in the books. And first of all, we want to say thank you for Dave from Fins Up, season ticket holder here in North Carolina that flies to the Miami games every weekend. I know we had some technical difficulty on his episode with his camera and mic, but we want to appreciate him for coming on in the Other Sideline segment of our show. And certainly, Tim had this as a absolute jet blowout. I, on the other hand, did not. I thought it was going to be much closer, but Tim, you had the Bills absolutely destroying the Dolphins, and that did not take place.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I thought Bills would actually play better defense, but that didn't happen. The secondary was getting beat, just like we worried about. And you better step it up more because Miami is not a good team.
No,
and you're lucky to can't throw.
Yeah. Historically, the Dolphins and the Bills have played like we talked about it last week. We talked about it with Dave, the 62-yard field goal. That's how we won it last time. So I think if you go back, at least in the Josh Allen era, there are a few games where the Bills blew out the Dolphins. But I feel like the Dolphins, out of all of the Jets and the Patriots, the Dolphins are the one team that typically plays pretty well against the Bills. And you're right, the secondary, again, Tre'Davious White, he looked slow. His age came out there. Now,
yeah, all the props we were giving to him last week, I'm taking that all away because I watched him this past week. No, you should be a number 3. You shouldn't even be a number 2.
You're not even giving that to the fact that you have two of the fastest guys in the NFL, or at least one of them with Cheetah. I mean, which cornerback is going to be able to keep up with the Cheetah? That's how I look at it.
It's still the stuff he was getting beat. He was getting beat in the end zone, and that's not that big a space. You know what? You need to play the guys tighter. You need to bump. Yes, Waddle and Hill are fast, obviously, but you should be able to bump and run them because they are not big guys.
Yeah, and I thought the key to that game was, and we talked about it, was the defensive line. I didn't think the Bills had a lot of pressure, from the front four. Because we talked about it. Once we get into Kansas City week, which is a couple weeks down the road, you got to have those 4 rush, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But Ed Oliver wasn't there, and it was a short week.
True.
So
yeah, short week too.
Right? Rest up your guys. Miami's still not a good team, and Bills obviously knew that. So why worry about your guys get hurt in that game like that?
Yeah, no, you're right. And I thought the offense played well. James Cook still looking like
James Cook's looking great.
Yeah, probably one of the best offseason signings for any team. Really, I think he's doing well. I thought Josh played well in certain quarters. Obviously, there's some ups and downs in that game with the offense there, but the Bills got out fast, and TB there getting that pick, obviously sealed the deal for that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What do you, from the outsider perspective, Miami gonna be difficult to win a game?
Yeah, I honestly think the longer this team goes winless, I think they're going to blow up this team.
Yeah.
But by the trade deadline, they might. I'm sure they're already trying to get rid of Tyreek Hill. No one's trying to take that on because who knows what's going to end up happening if he gets in trouble or not.
Yeah.
And who wants to take on that contract?
Any concerns coming out from the Bills side? Obviously we're in Saint week here, so any concern about the Bills offense from Thursday night? I know it was a short week. Obviously, the Bills got 10 days.
So
rest.
you guys got a bye week this week anyway with the Saints, right?
10 days.
So No, you guys got a bye week period because it's the Saints.
Yeah.
They're a bad team, another bad team. But my thing is, you guys better keep stepping up on the defense.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'd be on the waiver wires trying to grab some more secondary help because I really think that's going to be a weakness. You're going to run into a team that can actually take advantage of it.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I'm sure when we get to the X factors of the game, that's probably going to be, something we talk about. But I'm not sure I would go that far getting on the waiver wire. I mean, you do have Jordan Poyer. Again, this is not like I know Micah Hyde last year. Jordan Poyer is slow, but you've got him on the practice squad. I mean, you're week 4, easy to get in the system right off the bat. Is he going to take over Cole Bishop's spot? No. Tyler Rapp. So, I mean, who are you going to get in off the waiver wire? Like, if you get somebody
I'm just
outside
gonna
of the Bills organization, like, how long of a speed up is that going to be? I mean, are they going to be ready for the bye or?
Yeah, as far as this is cornerback, we're not talking about bringing a quarterback in. We don't have to
Well,
learn a whole new system. It's
but I
literally like
disagree. I disagree with you
play
on the
man,
cornerback.
play zone.
I
Like,
disagree with you on the cornerback, though. Here's the reason why, Tim, is I know Tre'Davious looks slow, but the past 2 games he did really well, and against Baltimore he did well. But you also got the kid, the number 1 draft pick for the Bills, who is still hurt, and I believe after this week he is eligible to practice again. So with that being said, are you still going to go out and find a cornerback, or are you just going to roll with what you have now, which is Benford, who's good, Taron Johnson, who is good, and Tre'Davious White, who after last game may have showed his age, but the other previous 2 games he played really well, and hold off and wait for the Rook to get in there?
well, you want the rookie to come in there, but all it takes is one injury, and then you're decimated.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Well,
We
and that's why you need to get some depth. And going to your point, if they got to learn the system, cool. He doesn't have to be a starter right now, but you need to bring in somebody in case something happens. Buffalo is in it for the long run.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
they're trying to win a Super Bowl, so you
Yeah, and
need to gear up this depth because you don't want to be an injury away of getting beat in the playoffs because you couldn't cover anybody.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Dorian Strong,
Yeah,
cornerback. We talked about him week 1.
I know VTech. I know who he is.
Thought that you know him. I mean, I would be okay if he slotted out Trey White for Dorian Strong. I just think right now Trey White knows more about the defense and that system right now, which is keeping Tre'Davious White in the cornerback slot. And Darian Strong as the backup. But I do agree with you. We're probably going to talk about the secondary the entire year here with the Bills. Their schedule is not that hard. You've got the Saints this week, Pats Monday night, then you've got Sunday night, Atlanta Monday night. Then you're at a bye. You play Carolina, and then you go to Kansas City, and that's really the game. Kansas City's really the game that you really need to dial in on a cornerback, and that's why I think the Bills aren't going to make any moves for cornerback, and they're going to let this ride out because of Max there, the rookie, and then Dorian Strong. But I don't like none of those teams screams to me, other than Kansas City, that
No, you guys should stomp all the way to Kansas City.
Exactly.
And honestly, from what I've been seeing from Kansas City, you should stomp Kansas City as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I agree with you there. All right, so we usually have the other sideline right now, Tim, but I couldn't find a single Saints fan in the entire triangle in North Carolina. I mean, honestly, like if you think about it, how many Saints fans do you know?
Did you check all the paper bags out there?
Yes, I did. But honestly, like is it the one fan base that like you're like, oh, you're a Saints fan, right? Unless you live in like Louisiana or like those southern areas down there.
Yeah, I mean, especially right now, they're not claiming the Saints, even if they are Saints fans.
Exactly.
They know how bad they are. They're just riding this season out.
So let's get into some Mafia Mail.
Bill's Mafia? Make some noise. It's time for Mafia Mail.
All right, so we've got this this email came through for us this week, Tim, and this is from David in Tampa, Florida. I'm
Okay.
hoping he's a Bills fan. I wonder if he went to the game, which is probably pretty far from Tampa. But he's like, "Hey Mafia, hey Tim and Owen, great win last week. The defense really came through, but the offense still left some points on the field. Going into this week against the Saints, what do you think the Bills need to clean up the most? Is it red zone execution, protecting Josh Allen, or just finding rhythm with receivers? You want to go ahead and take that one first, Tim, or you want me to?
As far as mine, I'll say let's get to these receivers in a rhythm. I want to find out who's going to be the one that steps up when the game's on the line. Obviously, we're not worried about that with New Orleans, but if the game's on the line, I want to know who's going to be that. Who's Josh Allen looking for? And I want someone. It's going to step up organically. Let's see what happens. I'd like to see Keon Coleman be that guy, but we'll see if he does become that guy.
Yeah, I think you and I are gonna talk about this and battle back and forth about this. I am not on the page as the outsider as far as like needing to see that number one wide receiver, Keon Coleman. I'm just not. I think Josh Allen. I mean, makes anybody good. We talked about this last week or 2 weeks ago. I'm not comparing him to Brady, but very similar instance. I know Brady had Moss and all that, but I don't think that there is a number one wide receiver, nor would the Bills pay for a number one wide receiver. To your point, I do believe that you will get a Keon Coleman will separate himself from the other wide receivers. But if you look at last week's game, I mean, Dalton Kincaid, my boy, I've been high on him. I mean, the Bills are very tough to defend because if you take away the pass, you got James Cook, right? But if you take away the, Coleman, you've got Palmer, and then you've got, Dalton Kincaid. So it's a good question. I think for me, it's the starting out early thing. Like I don't understand that. I mean, the Bills are so powerful on the offense, and to David's point, like, is it the red zone execution? What needs to be cleaned up? Certainly the Bills are not and you can tell me, Tim, but certainly the Bills are not a team that when they get in the red zone, they're kicking field goals, right? I mean, with Josh Allen, you're scoring some points.
You're scoring points. I mean, you guys are on the same page with Philly. If you guys are even close to end zone, Josh Allen's going to run it in.
Yeah.
And James Cook's playing well right now. So that's key to in the red zone. If you have a threat of a pass and you have a good running back, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And then, David had mentioned here, what's the one thing the Bills need to clean up the most? He also wanted to know what going into next week's game against the Saints, what do you think the Bills need to do to clean up? We'll give you our X factors, but real quick, I mean, we talked about it. From my standpoint, defense has got to play better. These winless teams are dangerous. And so with this being at home, and I think Spencer Rattler's playing, so that's going to be a new experience for him. But I just think the defense overall has just got to get to the pass rush, right?
We need to build confidence on that defense, and let's get people healthy. Let's use some of the young guys.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
honestly, this New Orleans team, in theory, and I know it's the NFL, so you never know what's going to happen, but you should be stomping this team. So use your young guys.
Yeah.
Get them experience so you can depend on them later in the season.
Yeah. All good questions, David. Thank you for watching and tuning in your question from Tampa, Florida, which will be, in Bucks land pretty soon here in a couple weeks, last half of the season. So that'll be a good game, but we appreciate it. And if you have a question for the show, you can email us at billsmafiacto@gmail.com or email the outsider at billsmafiacto@gmail. And thanks again, David, for your question.
And that closes out this week's Mafia Mail. Always love hearing from the family. Now, back to the action.
All righty. Here we are, Saints week. We talked about, we had the Mafia question about what the Bills need to do with Saints. So, Tim, what is your X factor for the Bills to pull this one off against the Saints.
The biggest X factor is don't take them lightly. That's really the main thing.
Yeah.
You guys are a 10 times better team. Just don't sleep on that, because this is the NFL. These are all good players, and someone could take over. But as far as would it be a nice challenge is going to be Chris Olave on New Orleans is their main go-to guy.
Okay.
Let's see who is on him, and let's see if they can shut him down.
Yeah. That's a good point. So cornerbacks don't travel usually. So it will be interesting to see based on, I mean, we're just fans, right? We're not scouts or anything like that, but we both saw that game on Thursday and saw that Tre'Davious White looked really slow. So it's going to be interesting to see, because White doesn't travel majority of the time. It's going to be interesting to see if they slot him on Trey's side and go that one-on-one matchup there. I agree with you in the extent of not looking past this, which the Bills don't, but a winless team is dangerous. I still think the Bills need to come out on teams like this, like they did the Jets. It should be 2 touchdown, 3 touchdown by halftime. My X factor here for New Orleans as well is going to be that pass rush. That front four has got to step up like they did against New York. If they do that and the Bills do not have to blitz, it's going to be a very long day for the Saints. Very long day for the Saints. You want to go ahead and give us a score? You've been these last 3 weeks, you've been in the 30s. So just looking at the schedule right now, it looks like you may still be in the 30s for most of these.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough game because honestly, I do not like the New Orleans offense at all. I don't think Spencer Rattler's a good quarterback. I think he's the only one they got.
Yeah.
So if honestly, I'll give them they're going to score maybe 12. New Orleans.
12 points. Okay.
And you guys should be. You know what? I saw what was it? Seattle just beat New Orleans. You guys should put up 40.
40. All right.
I want to see a 40 burger. So let's say 40-12.
So they get what, like 4 field goals or something like that?
And whatever. Well, let's see, whatever. Safeties.
Or is there a safety in there?
Someone misses an extra point, who knows?
Okay. All right. 40-12. All right. I don't know a lot about New Orleans Saints. And I think 2015 might have been the last. I think Thanksgiving. Actually, I think Trey White might have gotten hurt on that Thanksgiving game. I don't know a lot about New Orleans. Haven't seen a lot of their games. I mean, just based on the information that, you get online. I do think, though, I am with the outsider on this one. I do think the Bills put up a lot of points here. I also think the Bills get to 40. I wrote it down. I do think they get to 40. I don't think the Saints get to 12. I think this is a 40-3 game, and the field goal the Saints kick is at the end of the game. End of the game.
Wow.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm just giving them some garbage points. Am I expecting it to be a game at any point? No.
Yeah.
They just lost 44-13 to Seattle, and Sam Darnold is not Josh Allen.
Yeah. I think this is at home. I think it's the problem with the Saints is Josh and Brady's had 10 days to prepare for the Saints. That is dangerous. It was dangerous when Brady was with New England. You give guys like that 10 days. I just think that this is going to get out of hand fast. I think Rattler, the QB there in New Orleans, he's going into an environment that he's not used to. I know, college, whatever, but this is a whole different ballgame. I think the Bills go 40 here. I'm being generous on the 3 points. That's how big I think this is going to be. Like, they're going to hit 3 points field goal just because it's the end of the game and, they don't want to get shut out kind of a thing. But I'm with you on Tim the Outsider here. This is going to be a monster win for the Bills. Monster win for the Bills. Oh. Crazy, huh? 40. I wrote it down. Bills Mafia.
40 burger. Let's
That's
see
it. All right, so let's get to this week's picks. So this is the segment where I give Tim 4 teams. He has no idea what teams I'm giving him. He gives us his picks from the top of his Dome. And let's recap from last week, Tim. You had the Raiders and the Falcons. You lost both of those. You got killed, I think, by
Yeah,
both of them.
I don't know what happened with the Falcons. You know what?
They
I
got
thought
killed.
Jaden Daniels would hurt would hurt Washington a lot more than it did. And Raiders
Yeah. So you
didn't impress me.
Yeah, you didn't do well there, but you did get Pittsburgh and you did get KC. I know KC was on your boys, the Giants, so that was a smart pick, not a heart pick there. But so you're now, as I have it, I think you're 5-7. So that's not really good from Tim the Outsider here. Maybe
5-7. Okay.
yeah. You were
Well,
5
we
and
got to
7.
we got to get above 500. Let's do
That's
this.
it. You got to get
I feel
above
like
500.
feel like I'm in the AFC East.
That's right. You got one dominant team, and that's the house. And then you've got all these other ones. So let's see if we can get you up there. I'm going to throw this one out here to give you a second chance on this one. Falcons Commanders.
Falcons Commanders. Both teams have made me lose.
Yes,
Going against each other. From what I've seen in both teams, Falcons took a step back this week. I don't know what happened with them.
Yeah.
But I'm going with the Commanders. I think Commanders are taking that game.
All right. I'm going to go Falcons here, only to your point, Tim. Like they were decent. There was some chatter of them, being, relevant in the talks late in the season, that kind of thing. So I am going to go with the Falcons. I think they have a bounce back game here against the Commanders. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders pull this one out. Let's go Panthers, Patriots, keep it in the AFC.
I'm going to go with the Patriots. I like Drake May. I think he's a good quarterback. Patriots keep on fighting, and I liked what the way the Panthers did this past week, but I don't trust it, so I'm going to go with the Patriots.
Yeah, this is tough for me too because I feel like Carolina's got to get a win here, but I'm also going to go Pats as well because I just think they're the better team. I'm not sure what Carolina's doing right now, and that would be a big win for New England if Buffalo wins on Sunday. That would be a big win. That would get them at, I believe, 2-2 going into the matchup against the Bills the following week, and being a divisional game. So I'll do that as well. Let's just keep it in the AFC. Jets Dolphins. This barn burner.
Jets Dolphins. This is the bathroom game.
That's right.
From what I see, let's see here. I'm gonna go with the Jets. I don't like the way Miami's team's playing. I think the Tyrod Taylor played well, but I think he's going to be on the bench because I'm pretty sure Justin Fields will be back by this game. And Jets defense played well. So let's go with the Jets.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me as well. I think I'm not sure about Justin Fields. Certainly if Justin Fields not in the game, I don't think the Jets win it. The Jets defense is good. They have a good front four, which can cause havoc with the Dolphins, but I believe that there is some momentum by Miami after they played the Bills and hung in there. So I do think that Miami gets their first win. And I think they actually win by 2 touchdowns against the Jets on this one. I think the Jets go 0-4. Yeah, and the bags come out in New York.
You think that the teams get momentum from these moral victories against Buffalo?
I know McDaniel said that in the press conference that there is no more victories, but I do believe. I mean, like at some point the Dolphins have to win a game, right? I mean, they're not going to go. No team is going to go without a win, right? So where are you going to put this win? And I think early matchup against the Jets are winless. If Tyrod Taylor, even if Justin Fields plays, I don't think I think Tua is a better quarterback in that situation. I think they have better offensive weapons. Sauce Gardner is the only guy that I can think of that can handle Tyreek Hill. The only X factor, if you want to call it, for the Jets is their front four, but somebody's got to win, obviously, and get that win. And I think the Dolphins do it this week.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
glad we're splitting a lot of these picks.
We are. So hopefully you can get up to 500 after this Sunday. That's
Yeah.
Tim.
Well, by the way, what's your record?
I'm 5-7 as well.
Yeah. So hey, we're gonna start seeing who's getting the edge after this week.
That's it. That's why Pats Dolphins is a big one for us, and
All right.
we'll see what happens after Sunday. That's Tim's picks from the top of his dome. All right, guys, another week is down. It's crazy. It's week 4 already in the NFL, and Saints, Bills have 3 games left until their bye. Winnable games. It is not impossible that the Bills could really be undefeated going into the bye week here. They got the Saints. Hopefully this game gets done early and they can rest players. But this is going to be a fun little stretch here by the Bills. Remember, you can always reach us at Bills Mafia Carolina Takeover on YouTube and Spotify. Make sure you subscribe. You can leave Tim the Outsider comments on there as well. If you disagree with
please.
him or myself, go ahead and leave a comment on the YouTube video as well as Spotify. So if you have Spotify, make sure you tune in there as well. Make sure you hit that notification bell in the next drop that we have. If you need to email us and definitely get in for the Mafia mail, it's Bills Mafia CTO at gmail.com. And until next week, be good, do good, God bless, and go Bills.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Bills Mafia Carolina Takeover. Thanks for tuning in and repping the Mafia with us. Don't forget to subscribe, drop your Mafia mail, and join us next time as we bring the passion, the pride, and the power of the Buffalo Bills straight from the Carolinas. Let's go Buffalo.